Welcome back to Rock and Rattle Retreat, where we're building up. And I consider this one that we're actually building up. So we went back to the beginning again. This is where we're pouring the foundation. This has been a couple years ago. And we built up from there. There's the basement dead center. And we're building up. What else goes up on this house? So, that is where all of our radiant stuff is going to be mounted. There's the stuff for the basement. So the basement floor has all the radiant pecs in the floor. And what we need to do is, we got a contractor came in to put in a chimney. Actually 2 chimneys. But first, just save a little money for me. This is keeping my feet on the ground. I'm going to drill a hole through the concrete wall. Granted, this is 8 inches of concrete.
Okay, fun time.
So we're going to drill a whole bunch of little holes around that circle. And you notice it took me a couple times to actually get the circle in the right spot. And this actually goes faster than drilling a rock to put explosives in. Alrighty. Drill, drill, drill. So after a few more holes, I just keep drilling holes. Now what we're going to do is just keep drilling holes all the way around this thing until we got it all drilled out there, and then we take a big hammer, a demolition hammer with a flat bit, and try to knock out all this concrete that's between the drill holes. So we can get that big piece of concrete in the center out of there. And thanks to GoPro, I don't actually get to show that big piece in the center leaving. GoPros just didn't work correctly. So, go back to the outside. Look at all those holes going around. And we take that same demolition tool. Basically, it's a big hammer drill. And stick it on hammer mode only with that bit. And just go in between all the drill holes and try to knock out all the concrete between the drill holes. Now once I get all the concrete knocked out between the drill holes, it should just fall out, but I can't actually get all the way through that 8 inches of concrete. At least not with that spade bit. Don't know what's going on there. But I give it a good try. Now, once we get that all the way around as much as I can, I blow it out with some air. Try to get all that concrete out of there. All the dust and debris and whatever that's still in between. And then do a little extra drilling to get more of it out. And here we go. Look at all those little holes. And all that concrete dust. Makes a mess. I'm trying to make the mess on the outside, not the inside. Yeah, once that's done, I hit it with a big hammer a whole bunch of times and it finally pops out, which I missed on camera. But we can see I'll put a piece of board over the top of it because it'll be a day or so before the chimney guys get out there.
Messy.
See all of the dust and debris that's on the inside. Just made a mess. So, and there's how I moved the boiler away from the wall. A few 2x4s and a car jack. Okay, clean it all up. All that dust. Blow a little bit out. And I gotta move it back, which takes cribbing and that car jack, and it gets moved a little bit by little bit. And a time lapse, it looks like it's moving a little faster. Now we did marks on the floor to where the little feet were, so we're trying to put them back in the same exact spots. We get pretty close. That's close enough. A little bit here, a little bit there. And then the wife moves it. No, she didn't move it. It's over a ton. And there is their pipe in that hole that I created. And there it is finished on the inside. Yep, comes out of the boiler and goes out the pipe and has a piece on the bottom to collect any ash that comes out there, because it is a forced air. Alright, back inside we have a wood stove, and they're going to install a chimney here through the ceiling for that wood stove. There we got the square hole cut. It took them a while to get all that foam out of there. There's 12 inches of foam up there. We are insulated. And here comes the light. They cut through the top. The only problem, we weren't thinking ahead, so we didn't make a base for the wood stove before they got there, so we were making it as they were there doing it. So that was the base for the stove. Here they are on the outside putting in, that's the boiler pipe, because it comes out the side of the building, concrete really. That's the hole I drilled. And they put in the pipe. Yeah, granted I could have done most of this, except I did not want to get up, and away there off the ground. Okay, they get some more pieces of pipe and they go up, and they're working on the top of the roof where the pipe came out for the wood stove. So we got two chimneys. One for the boiler sitting right there on the outside, and then one for the chimney for the wood stove on the first floor. They both get tied to the building. And just don't want to be up on that roof anywhere. Somehow I grew old. Because that's close to 30 feet up there. There we go. There's a smokestack. That is the one for the wood stove inside on the first floor. And then they put some more stacks up here for the boiler, which are going up alongside the house, and then they put in a elbow. I don't know what degree the elbow of that one is. It's not 90, but it comes out so that it outside of the eaves of the house. Put in another elbow to go straight up, and then keep stacking them up there. So it just looks like two humongous tall stacks. I can tell you, you come in on the other side of the house, you drive in there, you don't see these smokestacks. They're still underneath the side of the roof, up there. So by code, they got to be up so high above anything. So, okay, back inside, here we go. We got the platform that the wood stove is going to go on, and some of the natural rock we unearthed while we did the foundation. We set aside a lot of rock to do that. And here they are on the inside, with that square piece that goes through the roof. And put in the single wall that goes into that. That's all together. Now I can't put the wood stove on top of there until we get it all mortared up. So here's most of the stones set, or should I say just laid on top of the platform. And there's the chimney going up. Still gotta put mortar underneath all that, and there's the wood stove that's gonna go on top of it. Okay, we took all that stone, marked some of it, the big pieces, and here we are putting mortar on it. Gonna place them down here, get it all leveled up as good as we can, because this is natural stone. There's highs and lows just sitting there. But we level it as good as we can. Get the bigger ones on first. And get another one on there. Get enough underneath it to make it level. Lots of mortar. We go through almost 3 bags of mortar to do this for the whole platform. And the platform is not totally done yet. Try and get everything level in the rocks, level to it, level to everything. Here comes in another rock. Okay, so the big rocks have been sitting there for a day. Now we're going to get all the smaller rocks put in. A little too much mortar on that one. Kind of oozes out a little bit. Rather have too much than not enough. Can always take stuff off around the edges. Now that white circle down there is an air intake that is eventually going to be hooked up to something in the basement to go out a vent, so it will take in fresh air from outside to feed the wood stove. Alright, inside the wood stove, we took out all the brick, took the door off, got some friends over, they helped us put it on there. Now I'm going to put the brick back in, and hopefully I put it back in the right spots. I did take a picture before I started taking them out. But of course, they don't always fit right. You gotta move something to put something in, and put it back, and there we go. Oh, there was an inspector on the right. Anybody catch that? There she is. Alright, let's put these things in here. A lot of fire brick. A lot of fire brick on the bottom. Plop, 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 plop. Good. And then there is the little plug for the ashtray underneath. Okay, anybody got these things in their wood stove? Little brackets to hold the wood inside so that they don't fall out the door when you open it. I thought that was great until you actually use them. It goes both ways, guys. They might hold them in, but it also is a hindrance of trying to get them in. Okay, back up on the roof. There is the two stovepipes coming out. One going around the roof, one going through it. And there we got the wood stove fired up. We did little fires to start with. Built them up. And there we got the good fire going. But you put those little brackets in there. Yeah, if you got wood that'll fit in there, that's fine. If you got something bigger, you hit those things and they knock the brick up. I just took them out. Alright, here we go. New view. You got two wood stacks on the left. Or smokestacks. Some temporary solar panels there. There's the smokestacks, and there we go. And from the normal view, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll catch you next time.